Don't make me beg, don't make me wait. I need to hope in the darkness of the night. And when I say, show me my place. You are my shelter, baby, let me feel your light. One foot in a deep revival, another one going in the fire. Only one that can save me now is you. Healing, oh, I need a healing. I can feel it now, I can feel it now. Got to get it up now. Healing, oh, I need a healing. I can feel it now, I can feel it now. Got to get it up now. This aching pain when you're away, like a burning ship that sets the sails to you. Fingertips, that's my lips, make me sing that holy song the way you do. Holy Ghost inside, let it loose and lay it on. Only one that can save me now is you. Healing, oh, I need a healing. I can feel it now, I can feel it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. Now a handoff as they run left side. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They go rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. So on fourth down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. With it is Brown. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3-and-out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. So let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And a grab made by Doug Baldwin. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run. They made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, How do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And Olsen over the middle. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that, and when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
It's complete right side to Benjamin, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up the first down.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he stopped immediately there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And out now come the Seahawks. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Still in search of the first down after that last completion.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. They run with a power back, Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together, it makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And the Panthers coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and got some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed of the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now Newton. Now they go screen. It's complete. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
That you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. From the red zone now, Newton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will do it for this first half. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. To throw is Wilson. He's got time. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
On third down, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. Still fighting for more. And an alley to run. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain. Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game. Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Forbath will put this one through, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Newton to throw. And this one complete right side to Funchess. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Second down and just one. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slam.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now Wilson on second down. And Graham's got it over the middle. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now Brown. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Here's Newton now on second down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And that is incomplete. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Third and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down following the run. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So 1 yard to go here on third down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Panthers. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. There's a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Here's Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
To throw is Newton. They find some open field here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Stewart on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. Now a first carry for their fullback. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stuffed the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Panthers defense gearing up as they take the field. They've had a great game. They have given this offense fits all game long.
They'll have plenty to review, plenty to enjoy. How about the highlights that's going to happen out of this one? Big plays all around. A really well-played game on the defensive side of the ball.
Makes that film session fun for them, doesn't it?
Makes the film session fun and a lot easier for the producer and the director to pull out clips for the season-ending highlight video.
Absolutely. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Wilson, now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's 3rd down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly.
Says it's gonna rain. Don't worry, girl, it won't change a thing. Yeah, we still got plans tonight. We're gonna kick it, that's a given, baby, rain or shine. Leave your Sunday best at home. Be the last time you wear what you got on. Bikini top, cut off jeans. Baby girl, you know you looking mean. She said, how we gonna make it through the mud hole? Won't you think you got swampers on my truck phone? Somebody get down in the dirty south. I'm about to show you what it's all about. But don't worry, this rowdy crowd. We ain't scared, we're still throwing down. We gonna tap, light that fire. We gonna crank that country. Pass that, get Thursday. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Well, it's about to get done. Watching that red clay turn to mud. Sling it up, slap past the doors like a new paint job on a 4x4. Girl, you're gonna have a good old time. Can't let a little bit of rain change your mind. Let your hair down, kick off them boots. For once in your life, let yourself cut loose. Gonna get money from heaven. tank is baptized in muddy water, let me hear you say, let it rain, let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Listen, about to get dirty in the dirty south. About to show you what it's all about. You don't worry, it's a rowdy crowd. We ain't scared, we're still throwing down. We gonna test, light that fire. We gonna crank that kush. Pass that, let's get thirsty. Everybody get thirsty. Listen, somebody get dirty. Listen, somebody get dirty. Come on. Nasty.
They are men, and they are giants.